Another guy that do we even know what the Rams think of anymore? I mean, for a guy that's had over the last 18 months, was the anointed successor, the face of the franchise, to go away, we don't want you anywhere near the team, we're going to trade you, to we couldn't trade you, so please come back and play for us, to now suddenly being good again. I don't know what the Rams think about him. I don't know what this Rams team is going to be. It feels like they are absolutely, tearing it down to have another go in 2024. Is Cam Akers, is there any upside there, or is it just all question marks and disappointment?
I don't see any upside for Cam Akers, and he's a player who I've taken quite a stand against this year. And part of that is after drafting players like DeAndre Swift and Trey Lance in previous seasons, this year I'm looking to draft players whose coaches actually like them. And as you say, we just don't know how the Rams feel about Cam Akers. It's not that long ago that they were saying he could go out and seek a trade. And nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted this running back who we all knew about his ceiling, but nobody was interested in it. I think you look at what this Rams offense is, they've always been pass heavy in the red zone. Last year they had 16 running back rushes inside the 5-yard line, which for context, there were 5 running backs last season who had more than 16 carries inside the red zone themselves, inside the 5 themselves. They scheme Cooper Kupp. They scheme, Odell Beckham when he was on the team. They schemed Robert Woods. And even Allen Robinson last year, they were talking about how much they want to use him in the red zone. It's an area where Sean McVay excels in finding space for his wide receivers. And in terms of the running game, this offensive line is still going to be a mess. They've poured some resources into it, but these are rookies who are going to take time to develop. It could easily be a bottom 3 unit. You look at the fact that the Rams keep talking up Kyren Williams as a player that they liked. Last year, they were all set to give him a big role. Everyone connected to the team in terms of insiders, national insiders as well, was saying, I believe it was Adam Schefter just before the kickoff was talking about how the Rams were going to feature Kyren Williams. And then Kyren Williams goes out and on the very first play on the kickoff, he hurt himself and then missed time. I think that it's entirely possible we see more Kyren Williams as well as Zach Evans, who they drafted. And if your argument in favor of this is saying, okay, well, they've got a new offensive coordinator in LaFleur, well, he leaned pretty pass heavy with the Jets last year in the red zone too. So I think if you can't give me a reliable goal line role, if you're not sure that the passing game role is going to be there for Cam Akers, then I'm just not really sure what the role is. And I'm not really that interested.
And let's go back to the offensive line. This is a team that the offensive line was an absolute tire fire last year. Yes, they had some injuries, but it was a rotating door of, street journeyman offensive linemen that they were dragging in to come and play week in, week out. They've not done a huge amount to address that this offseason because they don't have the resources to do that. They don't have the money in free agency to go and spend, and they didn't have the draft capital to go and spend. So, yeah, I don't think this is a great situation, and I'm with you. I think at cost, it's not a player that I'm particularly loving.